Hi, it's me. Life for zero point 0.8 million years ago. The Earth was a very different place for zero point 0.8 million years ago. Much of what we recognize today didn't exist yet. The continents were in slightly different positions and life as we know it was just beginning to change. For example, flowering plants hadn't appeared yet. But the first mammals were starting to emerge. It was also around this time that the first primitive forms of human life began to appear. Our earliest ancestors were small, ape-like creatures who lived in the trees. They were very different from the humans of today. But they would eventually evolve into us. But how did these early humans find food? Did they use weapons like we do today? Well, not exactly. Let's take a look at how prehistoric humans found food. For 0.8 million years ago, our early ancestors didn't have access to the wide variety of foods that we do today. They didn't grow crops or raise animals for food. And hunting wild animals was risky and required tools that they didn't yet have. Instead, they primarily ate fruit that they gathered in the wild. Early humans were probably not very picky eaters. They would eat whatever fruit was in season and available. This may not have been the most reliable way to find food, but it was the best option they had. Sometimes our ancestors would supplement their diet with nuts and other plant matter, but overall, their diet was mostly made up of fruit. As time went on, early humans began to explore new ways of finding food. Some groups started to follow herds of animals, taking advantage of the meat and plants that they left behind. Others began to use simple tools to dig up roots and tubers, and some even started to hunt small animals. However, none of these methods were very efficient and our ancestors still relied mostly on gathering fruit to meet their dietary needs. In fact, it wasn't until about 2.5 million years ago that the first stone tools appeared in Africa. These tools made it easier to cut meat and process plants, but they were still very basic and couldn't be used to hunt large animals. The development of more advanced tools allowed our ancestors to exploit new food sources. For example, the spear was invented around 1.6 million years ago. This was a major breakthrough because it allowed our ancestors to hunt larger animals. This led to a more reliable source of protein and fat, which is important for brain development. As our ancestors continued to develop more sophisticated tools, their diets changed as well. They began to cook their food, which made it easier to digest and more enjoyable to eat. Cooking also allowed our ancestors to experiment with new foods, including those that were previously too difficult to prepare. As a result, our ancestors' diets became more varied, and they were able to take advantage of a wider range of food sources. Early humans didn't use weapons in the same way that we do today. They didn't go out into the forest with the intention of killing an animal. Instead, they used tools to help them find and prepare food. As we've seen, early humans mostly ate fruit, but they supplemented their diet with other plant matter and occasionally hunted small animals. The invention of more advanced tools allowed them to hunt bigger animals and cook their food, which made it easier to digest and more enjoyable to eat. Eventually, some early humans began to farm and raise livestock, which led to a more reliable source of food and the development of villages and cities. So the next time you sit down to eat a meal, take a moment to appreciate how far our ancestors have come in their quest for food. From foraging for fruit to farming crops, humans have come a long way in their search for sustenance. And it all started with one small step: gathering fruit in the wild. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear what you think. And if you want to learn more about prehistoric humans, check out our other videos. We'll see you next time.